Basher here. I just wanted to kind of give an overview of desmog'ing the 2017 KTM 350 EXC-F. I'm sure there's some of you that may have never done this before or just kind of want to see what it entails. It's pretty easy as long as you have the right pieces that are going to plug the hoses and some ports in the engine. You'll be all right. So the first thing you got to do is take off your seat, gas tank, your side panels. Get that all out of the way. You're going to have to unplug the fuel pump and the one bolt that holds the tank into the frame. Get all that out of the way. What you need to do next is remove the exhaust header, and you got to pull off both exhaust springs. If you don't have a spring puller, one easy thing you can do is take a zip tie, zip it in, and then take your T-handle, and you can pull that right off there. It's real easy. Then you're going to have to cut it off when you put the spring back on, but no big deal. You're going to remove two bolts holding the exhaust on. You can see one here and one on the other side. When you remove your exhaust completely, you're going to have this collar right here that you must separate from this header to get it around the frame on the other side to get the whole exhaust off. Just a little tip there. So you're going to take those two bolts off. You're going to need to take the whole exhaust off, including the muffler. So on this side, you're going to remove this bolt. You're going to have this whole plastic off. Remove these two, spring, and then you can slide your muffler off. Just give it a good wiggle up and down and it'll pull off of the header. And then you can remove this your whole pipe. Just get rid of all of it. You also need to remove your rear shock. It's real easy on the KTMs. You got this one and this one, and that thing will just come right out real easy. You're also going to need to take this motor mount off. You got two bolts here, one down here, because there's a brass fitting on the cylinder head that you have to remove, and that will get plugged. Once that brass fitting's off, you're going to put a 6mm bolt in there with Loctite to plug that hole on the cylinder head. So with your exhaust off, you're going to notice this big jalopy smog canister or filter or whatever it is. It's going to come completely off. With the smog valve removed, you're going to have a hole right here. You're going to need to cap that with a bolt and washer. As you start removing all this stuff, you're going to start seeing kind of all the hoses that are going to need to come off. You're going to have the charcoal canister is inside the frame here, and there's going to be a port here with hoses in it. Down at the bottom, you'll see right above here there's another hose up there you can unplug, as well as on this side right here you're going to see hoses coming in, and you're going to unplug all that. So here's the canister. Like I said, when you unplug these hoses, then you're going to unscrew all three of these, and then this canister will fall down through the frame. Here's right below here's your counter sprocket. You're going to see the air valve assembly, and there's going to be a hose right here as well as right here. Just follow those up through. Some of them go up through the frame. You're going to pull those out, and these two inlet ports are going to need to be plugged. Leave the electrical connector plugged in, or else it'll throw error codes on your dash computer, and you don't really want that. New product from Jeff Slavin's. It is the little dongle for the canister, so your computer doesn't show error codes when you remove it. So let's pull that out and plug this dongle in. To remove, here's a little C-clip, so I'm going to try to pull that off. There's the clip. Unplugged. And here's the new dongle. Looks like it only goes in one way. Now let's see if we get any error codes. No error codes. So that's looking good. So now we can throw this big dumb thing away and replace this. Thank you, Slavin's and Rottweiler Performance. Yes. There's also a hose that goes from the valve cover to the airbox, and I think it's a good idea to get rid of that and then run your air hose down. I agree with that theory, because you're just sending dirty air to your airbox. I understand why they're doing that, but you know, it's nice to just get it out. Of course, you know, this is all for a race off-road course. We're doing all of this for racing, right? So that hose can be removed and a new one ran down. You can see it right here is the hose I installed. And that takes care of that, keeps your air filter a little cleaner. Right here is pretty much everything that came off my bike when I desmogged it. There might be a hose or something I'm not showing here. I also used a hose, one of the extra hoses for the gas tank vent hose. Here you can see my fuel tank hose. So you can do all this yourself with some spare parts and find your own bolts to plug the ports with. It's not too hard, as you can see, or you can get one from Blaze Racing online. I think it's blaceracing.com. They're like 50 bucks for all the stuff you need. It's a little pricey, but if you don't want to guess at it or do wrong, you can get that. I also put the Cherbis 4.1 gallon tank on mine. You can check my website for my post on my thoughts and install for that, as well as a little issue I had with it, as well as the IMS tank.